Okay, all right, good. And this one, we're going to regulate bowls. Count of three. 1, 2, 3. I was going to put some xylophone music behind this, but I didn't. Now we're going to set the timer for about 5 minutes, and I'm not sure we'll get much reaction at 5 minutes, but we'll see. And then let's just give it a quick stir with the handle of the spoon, so we know that the yeast and the sugar can interact well. And then we're just going to set this off to the side for that 5 minutes. And then what we're going to do next, like I said, tonight we're going to make some coffee pie. So we're going to want our little stove, and a pan, and we can switch to the overhead again at this point. Ooh, that's aimed well. Then we're going to add 3 cups of milk. This is just whole milk. My wife asked me when I was ever going to need a big measuring cup. I make this pie, I don't know, maybe once a month, maybe a little less frequently than that. And in that 3 cups of milk, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of instant coffee. Or if you get the Folgers little packs, it's either 7 or 8. 8 is a little strong for most people. This is 3 tablespoons or a quarter cup of brown sugar, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Then we're going to whisk that for a minute, because that flour tends to be lumpy if you don't do that. I don't really know why I started putting 2 thickeners in this, but I did, and apparently it's something that works well, because the people that eat this pie seem to like it a lot. I am not one of those people. I just don't like coffee. I like the smell. I even like coffee ice cream. I do not like anything else coffee. All right, now what's going to happen now is I'm going to show you that pre-recorded video, because all I'm going to do with this is heat it and stir it, and that's going to be pretty darn boring. So we're going to show the pre-recorded video now, and then I'll bring you back at the right time to watch what happens with this next. So which has worked all day long, and now all of a sudden it does not want to work. But I think I know what's up with it. So, of course, I don't have my mouse over here because I've got this thing tonight. So bear with me one more second. I'll bring the mouse over here. I can see the big screen better than I can see the little one. So I'm going to have to bring it on. Well, apparently that doesn't want to work. So, but the timer just went off. So let's take a look at what's happening with our yeast at this point. You can see the middle one is getting quite foamy. The hot water one is not. Let me move this so you can see it somewhere. It's not doing a lot. And the cold water one is doing even less. So what happens is, with the cold water one, as the water warms up to room temperature, then probably the yeast will start to bloom a little bit. This one will get quite full of yeast, and this one probably shouldn't do anything because it should be hot enough water so it should have killed it. But we'll see. Set that off to the side. I'm trying to figure out what else I'm going to do. I know I've got something I'm going to try to show you. You know what? Let's while I try to fix the cooking segment, let's go right into the new feature of the show. And the new feature of the show is called Small Creator of the Week. And what it is every week I'm going to highlight a different small creator. It's called the Small Channel of the Week. I'm sorry. I went through 6 names. So every week I'm going to go through I'm going to highlight a new small channel creator. And this week it's a lady called Chipa By The Dozen. And she spells Chipa, C-H-I-P-A. She also has a blog, and that's just chipabythedozen.com. She's from Bolivia. She cooks Latin flavored stuff. I say she's from Bolivia. She was born in Bolivia, lived there, lived in Paraguay for a while, and now has lived in Kentucky. And I don't really know how long, but she's in Kentucky with her husband. So here is her. Here is that feature.
These churros are made in the air fryer, and they still come out crispy. Churros are popular in many Latin American countries, and this is an easy version you can make at home. When you walk the streets of Paraguay, you can smell churros from a block away. That little cart tells you exactly where to go. The dough is always the same: butter, water, then flour. You have to stir constantly so it doesn't burn until it becomes thick and pasty. Once it cools a bit, add the eggs and mix until smooth. Then pipe the dough with a star tip. That's what gives churros their classic shape. Using the air fryer gives you a crisp outside without the deep frying. This is the kind of recipe that works well with ingredients you can easily find here. Save it for later and try it at home. This is Eat Latino Friday.
Heck, this is the first time I've used this little control panel down here, and it doesn't control everything I need it to control. So when you see me disappear, and I don't know why we're black screen, there we are. And when you see me disappear, it's because I have to go over to the laptop computer and change something. And I'm not really too thrilled about that. But make sure that we get everything ironed out. Just like I say, this is the first time I've been doing it this way. Okay. I really want to show you that pre-recorded, but let me start cooking this so you can see that at least. Now, as I said, this is going to be pretty boring because this is mostly just stir it and stir it to keep it from burning. In case you can't tell, it's hot in here. That's not too bad, it's 82. But it's kind of raining outside, so it's pretty humid. And my wife is telling me she can't see. I need a new message to tell me if she can see now. I have a little panel up in the top of the screen that is a app that AI wrote for me this week, because last week I didn't know for the first half hour that nobody could see what was going on. And she was at home and unable to communicate with me. So I have this new communications thing so that now she can tell me if she can or can't see or hear it. And she sent me a message. I hope it was when I was trying to show that pre-recorded video that said she can't see. And it says a 20-second delay, so it's going to be 20 seconds before she even hears this. I'm going to have to show you the yeast pretty soon because it's going crazy here. I'm monitoring the stream on YouTube on a different computer. Okay, this is hot enough so it's leaving trails now. When I actually a little thicker than I want it, but what we got to do now is this is three egg yolks, and we are going to pour some of this pudding in those egg yolks very slowly while stirring. And I can't do it with the spatula and stir at the same time and hold the pot because I don't have three hands. So we have to do it very, very slowly. I'll try to turn this pot a little bit so you can see what's going on here. And we're going to pour in about a half a cup. And the reason we do this is we need to temper the eggs so they don't actually cook. They come up to temperature without cooking. Otherwise, we get some egg yolk chunks in our pudding, and nobody's going to want that. I don't care how much they like the coffee pie. I'm not seeing either. I can see chat down in the corner, but I cannot see it because I'm 6 feet away from it. So as soon as I get this stirred in here, I'm going to move the chat up where I can actually see it. So bear with me a second. We pour in about a half a cup or so. And you can pour it a little faster after it starts getting hot. And then we're going to pour it back into the pot. Stirring slowly also, or pouring slowly, stirring constantly. Tell you what, this smells like a cup of coffee. We'll bring the stove back, turn it back on, turn the heat down some, and do it this. And once this boils, we're going to let it boil for about a minute. You kind of want to, yeah, there it goes. It just started boiling. So we're going to let it boil for about a minute. And really keep stirring it, because right now is when it's going to burn, if it's going to burn ever. But we boil it so that the flour flavor cooks out, and cornstarch doesn't really have a flavor, but we boil it so that that settles in too. Okay, that's been just about a minute. We're going to take it off the heat, shut off the burner so I don't burn myself. Dump in 2 tablespoons of butter and a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to stir that until the butter's melted, which shouldn't take long because that butter's been in here for about an hour at room temperature. So it should melt pretty quickly. While that's melting a little bit, let me grab my mouse. And let's see if I can make that chat something I can see. One of these lives, I'm going to get it so that everything is as smooth as it is in practice. Because practice is like reality, like a reality TV show. It's not real at all. It tells you how it will work perfectly, but it doesn't count on internet connections. It doesn't count on YouTube, and it doesn't count to getting down to the last minute and running out of time to get stuff done or any of that. Okay, so what we've got now is we've got our pudding all done. And we've got our pie crust that I made previously. So we're just going to pour the pudding into the pie crust. Now, if I ate this pie, I can tell you, I would put whipped cream on it before I served it to myself. But apparently the people that eat this pie don't do that. Whipped cream, I guess, is not a big thing here in Puerto Rico. But it sure is for me, whipped cream or ice cream. Now I'm trying to level this down a little bit by jiggling it. And then what we do is take our big box of plastic wrap and get a piece. Which isn't cutting. And we put that right over the surface of the pie while it's hot. Push it down so it's on the surface. And what that does, it'll keep the pudding from forming a skin. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way now. And then I'm going to bring back the dropper before I switch back to the main camera. This, I think you can see now. I'll try to make it a little bit more obvious. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a whole lot of yeast foam on that one. That's the normal temperature one. The surprising thing is there's a little bit of activity on the very hot one, which should have killed it. And there's no activity at all still on the cold one. So that just serves to demonstrate that you need to be a little bit careful about the temperatures of the water that you add to your yeast or milk, if that's what you're using. Okay. Still can't see the chat, and I can see it's pretty active. So hang on a second. Let me see if I can move it up here. I could sing for you, but you wouldn't want me doing that. Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, now now I can see the chat. Let's see, who is here? It looks so good. Coffee pie looks good. Hello from New York. Hi, Monica. It smells extremely good. How far behind am I on this chat? Yeah, the studio is the little kitchen, Monica. Hi, Stan. Let's switch to this camera. Okay. Now you guys can see me doing the chat thing, but except I don't know what happened with that chat. I must have bumped something here. Yeah, there we are. We're back. Okay. All right. Well, hello there, Gordo Sanchez. How are you tonight? I'm glad you told me what your username was, because now I know who I'm talking to. And it is indeed the Gringo Kitchen. But I'm not seeing some people that I expected to see. Okay, so it's 7 o'clock. Okay, tenemos para hoy. Today, for today. Nope, I don't know what you said. Monica, I cannot see. Oh, what do we have for today? Well, we had a science demonstration wherein we put yeast in different temperatures of water and to see what the reaction would be. And this cup here was hot enough to kill the yeast, and actually did. This cup here was room temperature, and you can see the wrinkles in the foam on the top of that, so you can tell it's pretty foamy. This one here was cool, like you might get out of tap water sometimes. We did in Maine, but tap water here seems to be just about the perfect temperature for yeast. So I don't ever worry about wrong temperature water in actual practice, but I just wanted to demonstrate what would happen if you did use water that's the wrong temperature. I keep losing the chat. Can't see the experiment. You can clear that on your end, I think, so if you want to send me another message at some point. But why am I not seeing? Well, on my monitor, I'm getting the proper screen. There we go. And then I made a coffee pie. Do you like the coffee pie, Becky? I didn't think you did. Yeah, I need that too, Monica. I'd like to make sourdough. Sometimes I think it's probably too hot here for that. I haven't done enough looking into it to see if it is or it isn't. But it's pretty warm here, particularly in the summertime. What did you guys think of the special feature? The small channel of the week feature. Matter of fact, I think I'll show that again right now.
These churros are made in the air fryer, and they still come out crispy. Churros are popular in many Latin American countries, and this is an easy version you can make at home. When you walk the streets of Paraguay, you can smell churros from a block away. That little cart tells you exactly where to go. The dough is always the same: butter, water, then flour. You have to stir constantly so it doesn't burn until it becomes thick and pasty. Once it cools a bit, add the eggs and mix until smooth. Then pipe the dough with a star tip. That's what gives churros their classic shape. Using the air fryer gives you a crisp outside without the deep frying. This is the kind of recipe that works well with ingredients you can easily find here. Save it for later and try it at home. This is Eat Latino Friday.
I like the way she edits. Well, now you have both seen it, right? Well, thanks. They're getting a baby. What baby? I am not seeing a baby. If you guys are inclined, it would be nice if you checked out her channel and her blog. Oh, fancy. Yeah, you're right. Why are we getting fancy? I don't know what I'd call fancy there. the special effects, as you call it. Well, hi, Linda. You are quite late, but we're still working. This time last week, I was just giving up because it was not good last week. Nobody could see anything. And you knew that because you tried getting on time, I think. But like they say, better late than never. There are still a couple of people that I thought were going to be here tonight that are not. I knew that Lizet Bowman was not going to be here because she's at a meeting in Paraguay. So she's going to watch it as a replay later on. I made a coffee pie. You want to see it? It has the saran wrap on the top of it right now, plastic wrap on the top of it, so that it doesn't skin over. But it's a chocolate graham cracker pie crust. And it was a pretty interesting little video to watch that too. So I really wish it had played. But it's just, if I set it up so that you can, if I try to set it up so that you can see it, it's just going to take too long. Now, I don't eat that coffee pie. I mentioned that in the video several times. Because I just don't like coffee. I haven't had a cup of coffee since I was, I don't know, 19 maybe, 20 maybe. And that was one long time ago. Also, you missed the yeast demonstration, which this is actually like the third time I've done it. I did it the very first night and it didn't work. And then I did it again last week and it worked perfectly. However, nobody saw that. You would like a piece of coffee pie. You might not want it right now. It's pretty warm. Just came off the burner. It's got to sit and chill for 4 hours at least in the refrigerator, and it's going in there overnight when I leave here. And then my brother-in-law is coming to get it tomorrow because he's the one that really likes them. I pretty much got somebody to eat everything that I make. Like Rolla Marie there, Rolla Mary too, likes a fruit pie that I make, a 5-berry pie that's got apple in it. Rebecca likes blueberry pie. And my wife and I destroyed a lemon pie in about an hour and a half one day, a lemon cake in about an hour and a half one day. And I'm thinking that she's going to like the tangerine cake that I saw the recipe for on Lizet's blog, and I think I'm going to be making that soon. Where the heck is everybody at? Fruit. Oi? I don't know that word. Is that Spanish or a typo? Blueberry is good too. I like, there's not many pies I don't like. I don't like pecan pie, but I like peach pie, strawberry pie, blueberry pie, apple pie, 5-berry pie, lemon, orange, oh, and passion fruit. There's a lot I do like, a lot. I thought it sounded pretty good too. Okay, that video not playing has kind of thrown me for a loop besides several minutes of this show. Oh, I have to show for those who've not been here before, I have to show you um, my crew. This is everybody that works on putting this show together. And including the computer that you can see is called the advisor because I use a couple of AI sites to give me a little bit of advice here and there. And so that's that. Also, if it works, I have another new feature that I want to see if this works. Um, that is just a little site that I signed up on. If people ever want to donate a little money to help me buy software and equipment, they can make small donations there, which is a lot more useful if I have a couple of hundred people watching these lives. So let's see. And I've lost that chat again. Yeah, it is. It's they look related, I realized, but that is quite the crew. They work hard. Ask my wife how much time they spend on these things. Have you had tangerine cake before, Louisa? Kind of annoying that that doesn't run as a video because it is a video. Yeah, yeah. My payroll is it. You know what? My YouTube income matches the payroll. Yet there isn't a penny left after the payroll. Of course, there isn't a penny in the first place, but that's beside the point. I'm really curious where everybody is that said they would be here. I mean, okay. There are a few things that are not working tonight. The handheld camera is not connecting. The video is not playing. That buy me a coffee link is not playing. That's a few things. Have you ever made it? The tangerine cake? Next week, I'm going to have a featured channel that anybody that knows me is going to be surprised by. Because next week, the featured channel is a lady that has a vegan channel. And I'm a meat and potatoes guy, but this feature isn't about me so much, although it is channels that I like. If I didn't like them, or if I didn't think they were high quality, then they're probably not going to be featured. In fact, I can tell you if they're low quality, they're not going to be featured. They're also not going to be featured if every other word is a cuss word. But there will be a lot. I have 3 more lined up. The guy that was going to be the guest, whose schedule got so busy that he isn't going to be able to be the guest next week. So we won't have a guest next week. We'll have a live show, but it'll be a little more full than this show. I will make sure everything works. The problem is, you can set it up so it works. Like I say, you can set it up so it works in practice. Then you can't leave the computer running forever. So when you shut the computer down and you come back like the next day, nothing works. You have to reset it all. Yesterday, I think it was, I had a really unpleasant surprise. It might have been the day before. I came in here and all the microphones, normally there's 1 or 2 microphones. And there was a list of about 15, and all of them related to something that I don't use at all. And I had trouble getting back to this microphone that I do use. And the speaker had gone. I have a 50-inch TV on the wall. That's my monitor up there. And the sound output had gone to that TV, but that TV doesn't play music. It doesn't play sound. So I couldn't figure out why nothing was working. I'm assuming that because nobody told me that the sound wasn't working, that the countdown timer tonight had the sound, which plays the Gringo Baker song. That's also supposed to be behind that Buy Me a Coffee thing. And there's a closing clip that I have tonight that better play that also has part of that song behind it. So there's supposed to be music in several places. This is supposed to be a whole lot more polished production than it's actually turning out to be tonight. But that's what I said when I said it's like reality TV. It's not real at all. In practice, it all works really, really, really well. I was actually impressing myself, and that's why it's probably not working tonight, is because I was a little too impressed with myself, I think. So I don't know what else to say. I think that we're probably going to call it quits now at 50 minutes instead of a full 60. So let me play the end scene for you, and we'll call it a night. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week.
On the snowy hills where the pine trees stand tall, to a busy town where the Coquis call.